development as, a football player and a person, but, this team needs it more than anybody. The other leaders on the team, they need my help, my support. And I'm willing to admit that and step up to that. But definitely more for the team than for myself, because it's definitely not a comfort zone for me. It's something I've been developing and working on.
How you like being the old man in the room? Right, look to you for the.
It hurts. We even have one of our athletic training GAs is younger than me, so I was like, all right, that's cool. So I've been here a little long, but it's kind of scary and it's strange. Just like I said earlier, I remember the first day so vividly. I could recall my whole freshman season like. It was yesterday. They all kind of blend together, so it's kind of surreal. But at the same time, it's cool, because I remember where I was when I look at these young guys, and I understand what they're going through, and I appreciate being a resource for them and trying to do things better than the guys that were older than me when I was a freshman. Does that make sense?
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
How are you handling going into your last go-around, as opposed to prior seasons? Any different?
I'm just trying to not. What's the best way to put this? I'm trying to enjoy it more than anything. I know how to play. Like I'm trying to have fun and be the best football player I can be, and not worry about any accolades or any pressure for the next level or anything like that. I'm just here to play football, and that's kind of my approach. I'm gonna try to be the best football player I can be and be more intrinsic than I have been in the past.
Does it help going into any year? Is it different that you have an opener like South Carolina as opposed to some of your previous openers? Does that make things? Does that kind of up the ante a little bit?
Yeah, of course it does. I respect South Carolina a lot. I think they're a great program. They obviously have proven that, under Coach Spurrier. So I look forward to that challenge. That's one we definitely are more excited about and can get excited for. You got to treat every game the same, but, when you really get down to it, it's a Thursday night game to open it up against one of the better teams in the country. Like, that's the right way to do it, and that's definitely going to stimulate more excitement.
One of the things that's very noticeable about this team is the defensive line. It's a lot bigger than it was a year ago. From your vantage point, being one of the offensive linemen, how do you see that? With the defensive line being bigger and just the advantages they have, especially with 4 real linemen, linemen.
I think that's going to help a lot. I also think it really fits what they're trying to do defensively now a lot better. They definitely put on a lot of good weight, and they've been working really hard. I'm really proud of those guys, just in the classroom, doing well, recovering if they need to. Everyone's eligible. Everyone's worked really hard in the weight room. We got a lot more committeds in the defensive line than I've ever seen. So that's what's really important. Not as much as, the weight is great and they're bigger, but I think that work ethic is going to carry them this season.
Can you break down the importance of the continuity along the offensive line in terms of, is it some things you can't just look at film? Y'all got to be on that line together and getting a feel for each other and all that kind of stuff.
Right. It's really important, especially when our offense as fast as we need to go. We need to make decisions quickly and on the fly. And then if 2 guys make 2 separate decisions, and then you're wasting time trying to communicate like that, it's really important for us to work together and everyone know what their job is, and then just have a lot of trust. I think that really would be the key word, is just trust that this guy next to me knows what he's doing, and we're just going to call the same thing, and we're all going to be on the same page. And I got a lot more confidence in that. I was confident last year, but I got a lot more confidence in that going into this season than ever, because we put in a lot of work in the off season, and we're all a lot older, and everyone's just ready to go.